could only watch one game tomorrow, what would it be?
Man, I've been talking to Drew about this one. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to say the Avs. Like, truly. I want to see what the Avs look like. Like, they're healthier. I want to see what Blackwood looks like. I feel like they're literally getting ready to, like, unleash the beast on Dallas's ass. Like, I have this game going to 5. This series going to 5. Like, I think the Avs have that intense
It's going to
focus.
be that one-sided.
Oh, with Dallas Stars are dealing with injury-wise, with the losing streak, I believe that the Avalanche just have it in their head that they're winning this cup. Chris McFarland put this team together to win this cup this year. I have a great feeling about the Avs. Different about the Nuggets. Now, I'm not doubting the Nuggets, but I'm excited to see what the Avs do.
Man, oh, man. I'm going to go last here.
Oh, look at you.
Spivak, you could only watch one game tomorrow.
I'm going to go with the CU spring game. No, I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding.
to honor Shiloh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want to see those jerseys go out there. No, for me, it's easily the Avs, and not just because I'm the hockey guy. I think that this series, we're getting 2 of the best teams in the league in this series. I think this series is going to be so much damn fun. You got the Duchesne factor, you got the Rantanen factor playing against real teams.
Yeah, there's some
God.
There's so many great storylines in Avs Stars. For me, it's that one, and it's not particularly close, but I'm really glad that we don't have to choose between one game tomorrow.
But you're going to have to,
I know.
especially if you're going to watch these games in real time here over the next week and a half.
5 different times over the 7 games. It's ridiculous.
I hate it. Dante, you can only watch one game tomorrow. Avs or Nugs?
Nugs, easy. The Avs are going to have, 15, 20 games this postseason. We're only going to get like 6 Nuggets.
Oh, Dante.
Oh,
You're down them. You're down the Nuggets.
Doctor. Man, so the reason I'm asking you guys a question, because myself, when I thought of the question initially, I'm like, how would you answer this? Because naturally, I am hardwired as a basketball person.
Hands down.
I'm probably always going to be like that. But I love.
You pretend to do rebound drills here in the station when we're off here.
Got to stay, limber. I love the Avs though, and I think the Avs ceiling is the sky, and I don't view the Nuggets like that. I would probably still pick the Nuggets just because my hardwiring and my DNA, but
I want to see some physicality, man. I know the Avs are coming with that physicality, man. When you said Nathan McKinnon was upset with his teammate and he had his stick and he hit the stick on the ice, that's all I needed to know. They are ready to play. It's going to be a fun series, but truly I think that the Avs are going to overtake the Dallas Stars because of just they're deeper, they're healthier. I believe that Blackwood's going to play out of his mind. He's going to stand on his head. Bednar knows that what he needs to do is get past the second round. Chris McFarland has put all the pieces out there for the Avs to get past the second round. Like, it's all put together. They have their coach and everything. Like, I'm going with them.
No. And you know how we have through the years talked about how mirror opposites, or not
similar?
Not opposites, yeah, but like a mirror reflection of one another. I mean, for so many reasons, not going to relitigate it here, but for 15 different reasons through the years, we have said, man, that's so similar. Timelines, coaches hires, and all this stuff. Top players, MVPs, all that. But right now, these two teams are pretty different, in my opinion, where the Nuggets don't have great depth. The Avs do.
Yeah.
I have questions about the health of the Denver Nuggets. The Avs might be the healthiest team in hockey right now. The Nuggets literally fired their coach. I think Jared Bednar's in great standing with the franchise. So I think
on top of that, the Avs' second best player is going to be ready to play. The Denver Nuggets' second best player, we don't know if he's healthy in Jamal Murray. We don't know how he's going to look out there running around when you have someone like Chris Dunn that's wearing you out all game.
Yeah.
Like, it's just there's a lot more going for the Avs that we got to see.
There is
in the Denver Nuggets. Right
there is, and their title odds reflect that. So yeah, luckily tomorrow we don't have to choose. We will have to choose if you want to watch both in real time. Someone's asking me, Zach, would you WrestleMania night 1 or the Avs. WrestleMania is on the backseat, but it is WrestleMania weekend. And I don't watch wrestling anymore, but 2 or 3 times a year I'll pop it on. So that'll be the late night stuff. So let's talk about this sort of tail of the tape, man. So the Clippers and the Nuggets finished with the exact same record, 50-32. They played 4 times. The Nuggets won 2. The Clippers won 2. All right? And I don't want to get and I normally don't bring this up, but I think it's appropriate right now. We don't talk a lot of advanced analytics here on the show. I don't think it plays very well for sports talk radio. People are busy, and I don't want to give 1,000 numbers and all that stuff.
Numbers make my head hurt, Zach.
I understand. but I did want to mention something because it's a season of sample size, and we're heading into this first round playoff. And I think that offensive rating, defensive rating, and ultimately net rating matter. I think they matter a lot. I think it's who you are after 82 games. So let me just fire through this very quickly, and then we'll move on to the more human stuff. So the Clippers' offensive rating is the 15th best in the NBA. The Nuggets' offensive rating is the 4th best in the NBA. So an elite offense against an average offense, with Denver having the advantage. The Clippers' defensive rating is 3rd in the NBA. The Nuggets' defensive rating is 21st in the NBA. This is going to be the biggest gap in the series, guys. It's the Clippers' defense against the Nuggets' defense. And then you get to net rating. Net rating is very simple. Net rating subtracts the defensive rating from the offensive rating for a projected margin of victory, or basically like encapsulates who you are within a number. The Clippers have a net rating that is 5th in the NBA. The Nuggets have a net rating that's 9th in the NBA. So 2 top 10 net rating teams, but after 82 games, the Clippers have the better net rating. A lot of NBA people, will swear by net rating. The game is not played with a calculator. The game is going to be played on the hardwood tomorrow night with a bunch of passion and fervor and intensity. But I did think after a whole season sample size, that was worth mentioning.
But also you need to mention this too, Zach. In the last 21 games for the Clippers, their offense has been number 1, having 123 points scored per 100 possessions. That's something to put in there, because you talk about how teams get into a rhythm. They get into a groove. Well, the Clippers are in a groove offensively right now. Mm-hmm. And so if you have a great defense that you're saying is ranked 3rd in the league, and their offense is playing really, really good as well, see, that could be the turning point for the Clippers, where it's like, hey, do we know what we have with our team, the Denver Nuggets, defensively? Can they be consistent every single night that they're playing? Because the Clippers will at least defensively be very consistent. And now you have Kawhi Leonard back in the mix, who's playing great. So that's another one, because Kawhi Leonard was not a part of the 4 matchups they had during the regular season.
None of them. And
so now you put him back in the mix, who's playing great. I think he's like 55% from the field, and he's 50% from the 3-point line.
Correct, you're on it.
Like, these are things that you're going to have to look for while the Clippers play the Nuggets. Like, those things can hurt you or hurt Denver later on down this series.
Yep. So it's just a question of the strongest unit among and this is on paper, okay? This is not the 10 commandments here. This is on paper, but it's also after 82 games. On paper, the strongest unit between the Nuggets offense, defense, Clippers offense, defense is the Clippers defense. The weakest unit among the 4 is the Nuggets defense. Again, I think this stuff matters because you have the leader and the head of the snake, Jokic, saying 2.5 weeks ago, you are who you are. I don't believe in flipping a switch.
And you agree with that?
I do. In general, I do. The upper echelon elite all-time teams, Shaq and Kobe's teams could flip a switch. The Miami Heat with LeBron and Wade, they could flip a switch. I don't think this team is that exceptional to be able to flip a switch. That's just me. I hope I'm wrong about that. Here's another example across the arena, in a different locker room at Ball Arena. Jared Bednar is asked last week about Mackenzie Blackwood never playing in a postseason game. And Bednar says, I understand that, but I just believe, and I'm paraphrasing Bednar, but he said, I just believe that you are
who you are, pretty much.
What you do over and over again.
Yes.
So if that's true for Blackwood, and we're hoping he can still be the best version of himself, even in the postseason where he's never played.
Which I think all of us believe he is going to be.
We hope, right? We hope. But if that's true, if you are just who you are over and over again, this could be problematic defensively for the Denver Nuggets over the next 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying.
No, but that's fair. You know what concerns me, Zach, is David Adelman has kind of took a step back at times and let his players coach during the game.
Sure.
And you talk about all the time how coaching matters, especially in the playoffs. Because some people say, hey, well, like having a coach in the NBA, it's not as big of a deal as it is in football and hockey, but like it matters. When things get tough and the Denver Nuggets are losing during the first quarter or they're not playing good defense, you have to be able to have a coach that can call the timeout and talk to the team. Well, if your players are the ones talking to the team, or if it's Jokic and you have teammates that are going back and forth arguing, like that's not going to help you out later on throughout that game. So that's kind of for me where it's like, for David Adelman, make sure that you step in at the right time so you don't lose your team during this series, during these games.
I love that. What you just said, I love it. Because we don't know who David Adelman is in those moments. David Adelman doesn't know who David Adelman is in a pressure playoff situation. And here's the other thing. David Adelman's teams haven't lost a game yet. They're 3-0. It's been pretty much all good. Things will go wrong here over the next 2 weeks. The Nuggets aren't sweeping the Clippers. You're going to lose games. They're going to go on big runs. And who does this team turn into during the storm, during the adversity? When the coach who's been the mouthpiece for the team and the brain sort of the team for the last decade isn't there. And
well, even when he was there, Zach, you had times where you had AG talking to Peyton Watson and Peyton Watson talking back. That can't happen in the playoffs. You have AG trying to get the team together, and you have Jamal Murray ignoring him. That can't happen in the playoffs. Like, everybody has to be thinking the same thing, having the same vision. And even when they get upset with each other, they got to keep a level head and help each other out, work with each other, especially defensively, because you're going to have times where a player is going to get beat. Are you helping him out? Are you communicating? And if that's not the case and you start to break down, you might be who you were at the beginning of all this. And if you are who we think you are and you can't get back to being who you've been, then it's going to be bad for you later on against the Clippers.
We're fixing to find out. I find this fascinating.
I'm excited, man.
I would pay for it. If they made this pay-per-view, I'd pay for it. I'd pay for it.
Don't put that out there. They might try to make it pay-per-view.
I know. Don't let the NFL hear it.
Yeah, for real.
How much weight is on Jamal's shoulders this series?
Ooh, it's a lot. Because if we're going how you always talk and how everybody talks and how I talk, we are not winning a championship unless Jamal Murray is the second best player on this team.
Totally. He's the only candidate that can check that box.
There's a lot of pressure on Jamal. Jamal, we don't know if you're healthy. We don't know if you're in shape. We need you to get that separation when they play great defense on you. Because I think Chris Dunn, they're going to apply the pressure early on Jamal.
Oh, yeah. And I think they're going to come at him in waves.
Okay.
Between Derek Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn.
Because they have that depth.
And maybe in crunch time, you could see Kawhi Leonard on Jamal in just spots. In just spots of like massive possessions where Kawhi's like, I got him.
So Jamal needs to show up. The two-man game between Jokic and Jamal, it has to be clicking at times. I know they're going to sag in the paint, and I know it's going to be hard at the beginning. If Jamal can start generating some points, start shooting well from the three-point line, get everybody to kind of separate to spread out, it's going to help Jamal out. But Jamal's going to need to move around, and this is where you said, Phil, how is Jamal going to move around when we have never seen it? How is Jamal going to move around when we know that he may not be in shape? Well, this is something that may hurt us if Jamal can't move around and get the separation and find ways to help himself out with open shots. It's going to be on Jamal finding ways to generate some points to help Jokic out.
Well, there's no doubt. And when you're talking about moving around, you're and I'm just speculating. You're talking about him running off screens and wearing defenders out.
Pick and roll. I'm talking about all of that, you know?
They're going to have to do all that, and there's no question. But Jamal is also going to have to just flat out win his matchup certain possessions and create his own separation. You're a max player. You're 27 years old, not 37. So, like, this is on you. You're the second best player on this team. And you said Nuggets aren't going to win a championship if Jamal Murray's not their second best player.
Yeah.
Of course I believe that. If Jamal's not the second best player in this series, I don't think they get out of the first round. He's got to be the second best player for the Denver Nuggets this series.
So there's not another guy in your head that's like, okay, Jamal's not right. and he can step up and we can still win this series. Who would that be?
Guys will. Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown, maybe Russ has a game, but like in the aggregate, over 6-7 games,
Yeah.
and I think this is going 6-7 games, Jamal in totality will have to be the second best player. And if we're arguing that he's not carrying his weight, my guess is that they're going home in the very first round.
So if you're David Adelman, Zach, what are you doing? How are you getting Jamal Murray involved? What do you need to do? Like, I know he needs to win his one-on-ones, but even Michael Malone himself said, hey, we have to find ways to get Jamal open. So what does that look like against the Clippers, who, by the way, the Clippers like to play man-to-man, correct?
Yep.
Like, they like to
Yep.
apply the pressure.
Yeah.
So what needs to happen so that Jamal Murray can get going? Because he needs to get going.
I don't think it's like reinventing the wheel. I really don't, man. They have the best. When Jamal's right, the Nuggets have the best two-man game in all of basketball. The best, all right? Like historically good. Between that to close games and maybe halves, and running him off the screens that we've been talking about and trying to, make these other guys work, the Chris Dunns, the Derek Jones Jr., like wear them out. So do your best Rip Hamilton impression when you're off the ball. When you're on the ball, run your two-man game, but also I'm asking a lot of Jamal because heavy is the head. You're a max player. You're the second best player on the title team. It's also going to have to be like the flow of the game, not really having your fingers on the pulse of it. So like if he's on the ball and Aaron Gordon's having a great 4-minute stretch, lean into that.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr., lean into that. Like it doesn't have to be the Jamal Jokic show. And that's what's been a positive here in the 3 games with Adelman. It's like you're seeing some of the usage rates go down and everyone is getting familiar with the basketball and comfortable with the basketball. That's the Denver Nuggets I fell in love with. Hopefully we see that here, like in wholesale over the next 2 weeks, where they become impossible to guard. This team used to be impossible to guard.
Well, it can't be a Jokic show. Jokic can't go for 50 and think we're going to win. Jokic is going to have to spread the ball out to everybody. Everybody's going to have to do their part. MPJ, this is where I had a little pushback for Jake. It's like we can't have MPJ just sitting in the corner occupying Kawhi. Like, no, MPJ's going to have to get involved. We need him to be aggressive shooting early so that it can help Jokic out. Because what I'm thinking is at times they're going to change up different schemes and they're going to sag the paint so that Jokic cannot get involved, because that's what I would do. Force Aaron Gordon to shoot some threes. Force Jamal Murray to show me that he's healthy. Force MPJ to show me that he's ready to play, and stop Jokic, which I think that's the easy game plan. And that's why it's like for Jamal, you got to get going, man. It's going to have to run through you at times.
Definitely.
And at times you're going to have to, like you said, get it to MPJ, give it to Aaron Gordon, have that feel for the game when to step back and let everybody else do their job.
Yep. Well, we know that has to happen. Jamal needs to play fantastic. This is the tightest, from an odds standpoint, the tightest first-round series that the NBA has to offer. The margins are really thin. Jamal is going to need to be the best version of himself. My fear is that over the course of a 7-game series that is adjustment after adjustment, that the biggest mismatch could be on the sidelines with Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy against young David Adelman. Not for any fault of his own. Because I think Adelman's done an admirable job, and I listen to him talk. The more I listen to him talk, the more I like him.
He seems like he has the confidence.
He does, and he has a really nice way about him. But this is a totally different beast, all right? And when you're doing it for the very first time and you're going up against a literal championship coach with a right-hand man that could honestly get the Nuggets job, and Jeff Van Gundy
we might be watching one of the coaches that's on the other team that might get the Nuggets job.
It's just a fear of mine because I think this time of year coaching matters, and it matters a lot. And I think that it's a fear not based on anything that Adelman has did. It's just the natural circumstances here.
Ooh, you sparked an idea for me. You got Van Gundy on the one side, you got Adelman on this side. Are they fighting for a position to be the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, and whoever does well gets it?
I'm just throwing it out there that I think Van
saying.
Gundy could be a candidate here in the next 3 months.
Oh,
Everyone on the Clippers staff and guys and players rave about Jeff Van Gundy. This guy was a great coach, became an analyst, became the number 1 analyst for like a decade. Now he's back into coaching, and he has literally, his strength is a defense. Look at the Clippers. Look at their defense. He's changed their team. So again, I just think it's a dynamic to watch. Here is Adelman when asked this past week if there's less pressure on them now after the coaching change.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we're the Denver Nuggets. We've been winning for a long time, so our expectation is to try to win that series. With great respect for Coach Lou, the Clippers, everything they do. I mean, this is a 4-5. The 4-5 means that those are two really good teams, separated by a very, very slim margin who gets the home court. So that's how I'm looking at it. There's no victim in this thing. There's no feel sorry for me because I only got 3 games. This is the NBA. Grow up and play. And I'm really excited for the opportunity and the situation we're in and to see the guys react to it.
And that's why I like this guy the more and more that I hear from him, like his level of awareness, like, feel sorry for me. Dude, it's the NBA.
Yeah.
Grow up. It's the playoffs. No one's thinking about me. Well, woe is me. I think that's the right mindset.
But the question I am going to have to ask you, Zach, is David Adelman feeling a lot more pressure than he's putting on for himself? Like, he is getting evaluated. Now, if it's not the Nuggets, it's somebody else. It's some other teams that are evaluating. If David Adelman does a great job in the playoffs,
Yep.
You mean to tell me he won't have somebody knocking on the door for him to be the head coach? But if he doesn't, now he may be sitting there looking like, hey, I might get some interviews, but I'm not going to be another head coach. Like, there's some pressure that's put on him that deep down in his head, he knows that he needs to win these games. And some people may think this, give it an excuse. Well, they don't have their head coach, and David Adelman has coached for 3 games. No, like, he knows how important it is to win these games for himself.
There's no question about it, Phil. And he's a human being. It's only natural. If David Adelman wins a series, I think his chances of getting the Nuggets job go up 50%.
Oh,
And
50?
I'm being dead serious because you know what it is if they don't get out of the first round? 0%. 0. They will not hire an interim head coach based off 3 regular season wins, and because they like him.
Oh, so there's all kind of pressure put on David Adelman there.
If they don't get out of the first round, it's 0%. I think if they get out of the first round, it goes to 50%. You get out of the second round with an interim head coach, I think it jumps up to 75%. I think it's that type of swing. So, yeah, I mean, there's natural human pressure here for him to answer this bell.
Well, I'm excited to see, because now it's like, what does it look like when you have to adjust? What does it look like when you have to make a decision whether you keep Russ in the game or maybe you switch up with Jalen Pickett? What does it look like when Jokic gets tired? Who are you putting in the game for him? Are you moving AG there, or are you going with somebody like, I know you might not like this, DeAndre Jordan for 4 minutes? I know,
yeah.
But it's like, what does he do? What is his style looking like?
It's a great question. We don't know. We don't know how deep into the bench he's going to go. Like, we had 3 games.
I know.
So if it's Michael Malone, I would say Jalen Pickett, very limited minutes.
Okay.
Julian Strother, no minutes. Russ, moderate minutes every night. DeAndre Jordan, no minutes. Peyton Watson is going to get an opportunity every night, but on the more limited side, Zeke Naji, no minutes. That's how I would forecast if it was Michael Malone. Now with Adelman here.
Wait, if you had a spitball,
I'd say Jalen Pickett is going to get an opportunity.
Okay.
All right. And
can see that.
It's
I can
going to be
see
a
it.
very short runway, like very short, maybe like literally 2 to 4 minutes.
Because David Adelman's job's on the line.
Yes. Julian Strother, no.
Oh, no.
No. Russ gets an opportunity every night, short runway. Not a lot of patience.
Well, who else do you have then?
The 5 starters are going to play huge minutes.
But what does that look like? 43 minutes, right?
I'd say
38 to 43.
Yeah. I'd say 38 to 43 minutes. And so, like, who plays like 5 to 10 minutes? You know, it's an issue. We've been talking about it for months and months. It's not a new issue.
No DeAndre Jordan still, huh? For like 2 minutes. Jokic can't play 48 minutes. AG can't play 48 minutes, because I know that's what you're thinking. Move AG to the center spot.
So yeah, that's definitely possible. Definitely possible. Play AG at backup center, but also Clippers don't have a huge big man behind Zubac, so they actually in this series may be afforded the chance to actually go small in a way that won't work next round. But because they don't have a backup center really behind Zubac either, so it's
so it's
kind of cross canceling a little bit.
A chess right here.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Here we go.
All right. We'll circle back to it a little bit later in the show. Talk about the biggest